Hello, people. This is the Moto Vlog Challenge number 6. This has been a very nice experience for me trying to narrate and explain little tips here and there to other fellow riders about how to drive, how to ride safely, and make it home in one piece. So here we go. I got a red light first thing today, so I put my gloves. I really enjoy riding without gloves, but you know, just thinking about falling, the asphalt at speed, doesn't matter if it's a slow speed, 20 kilometers per hour, it will be like a cheese grater. And even though you don't break any bones in the case of a fall, just think about your hands, like we touch computers all day, the mouse, the keyboard. Hopefully some of you touch your girlfriend or boyfriend or wife or husband too, so just wear gloves. Hopefully I'll remember to wear gloves too, because sometimes I just don't. Or sometimes I leave my house and hoping to put my gloves in the next red light, and by some reason I just get green light. That's where my theory came about. I know it's a weird theory, but I don't know if there's something like statistic science or something. So I'm probably sounding pretty stupid with what I'm saying, but hopefully I don't. But here we go. You see, second set of light, red light, and I already have my gloves. I'm also experimenting a lot with the microphone position. You see, number 2, because I'm appreciating the art of voiceover without meaning that my voiceover is any good. But yeah, the position of the mic, how close you are, how close is this net for the popping, it all affects the outcome. The position you are yourself. So here we go. We check the right before taking off on the green light, and we go ahead in the back. You see that white U to the right? So ghosting again. How many times I'm gonna be saying ghosting here before you guys wanna hit me in the head? But here we go, ghosting that car. Bram, when the moment is right, let's overtake. I can see that bus in my future, so I start merging to try to overtake. Remember that buses and big trucks are supposed to go slower in a big steep hill like this one. So if you see one in your future, get ready to merge, because most likely you're gonna have to overtake it or get stuck in the back of the bus. Look at that. On the right we have a blue sky, on the left a bit overcast. It was actually raining a little bit in the morning, just a little drizzle, but now it's all good, so it's nice. We're approaching crawling traffic, so let's not go that quick. We don't want to die today, isn't it? So now, I was thinking this morning about that truck on the left. This is probably a gray line in the law, because I think trucks are allowed to go in the bus lane. But in this case, I'm not sure if that truck is allowed to go, but because he's doing the speed limit, I'm okay with it, I can't legally go any faster. So there's no point for me to get annoyed about that truck, because Number one, he's probably, here we are, we're approaching La S. Not a very nice turn today because I was stuck behind that bus, that truck in front of me, you know? Maybe that's where my disagreement with that driver comes. You saw how that I saw that truck trying to merge. So I tried to keep it safe myself. You see, he's signaling, Bram, here we go. Always ghosting. Maybe this one was a good example of why ghost and when to ghost. Pretty much you always have to be ghosting and being aware of your environment. So we're in Military Road. These statistics about the red gloves kind of really don't work, isn't it? Because even though I got a couple of red lights, now I'm getting all green lights. So at the end of the day, probably all this is just gonna even out. Hard to tell. We're gonna have to wait and see. But for now, I'm stuck behind that bus. Also, I mentioned this before, you kind of have to remember the numbers of the buses and what they do and what they don't. So I think this is a 200 something bus. I think they tend to stop very often. So just being aware of that and what's coming in the future so we can merge in the right moment. Like I know that there are no bus stops any soon, so I can still tell that, well, there's a bus stop there. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe nobody wanted to get in or out of the bus. We're approaching a big set of lights and a consecutive other set of lights in the Sioux turn. But this is crawling traffic at this moment, so... Oh, I remember this. I saw that merge to the right lane, merge to the right track before, so... But I knew that the bus was gonna have to merge, so I sneak in. You see, there we say thanks to the car behind us, so we're all in peace. It's happened to me before that if you filter and end up in front of a car, people get upset. So if you say thank you, you can almost feel that the person behind you kind of relax because you're taking their spot that they have queued probably for. So, just be grateful and thankful. We're approaching the Sioux turn. This is a nice low speed right turn, and then you have an open way. But you really shouldn't accelerate like crazy here because one car after the right turn might wanna turn left, so you just gotta take it easy. Know when to use your power. Like now to overtake that Golf. I can see a bus in front of me. If I remember correctly, that was a out of service bus. That's why it was on the middle lane. There you see, triple O. So by default, that bus won't want to go on the left because he doesn't have the need to stop at any bus stop. He's an out of service. So at this stage, you just have to think about that bus as a normal car, as a normal vehicle that will not likely get into the left lane. So we keep following that bus. He's doing the speed limit, so we're cool. We just tail that bus for as long as it makes sense. This is our film theater. There's a very congested bus stop here on the left, so around this area it's good to be on the right, but because there wasn't a bus, it was okay to be on the left as well. Here we go, Bram. Finally we overtake that bus. Remember, we're approaching a gas station, so just be aware of cars coming in or out of there. I can see a bus in the future, so I prepare myself to merge. We're getting into, I'm gonna call this section of my commute, I'm gonna call the wiggle road, because it's all wiggly. We don't know what's happening here. We never know. People merge, people change lanes, there are no lines. Maybe I'm spending too much time with my kids, but that will be called the wiggle road from now. Ghosting always, people, ghosting. Just using the power here in the right moment. And in this part, cars tend to change lanes very often, so we gotta be aware of that. So in this case, I could have filtered this little gap there, but because the bus there, you don't really know in what moment the last passenger get into the bus and the bus driver. You see that little rabbit? You see, if I would have go fast here, that pedestrian, even though he was crossing in the worst place possible, I could have crushed that guy. And that would have been so silly. So silly. Just be happy and thankful that you are allowed to use the bus lane, unlike any other commuter in a car. So, I would have hit this highway, the bridge highway, maybe 3-4 seconds before. So, please, people, be careful. So now I'm pointing out, you see, there's three potential dangers there. The bus that is gonna block any car trying to merge, and then another youth towing a little truck in there. So I can't really overtake this bus because some car on the right might wanna merge to the bus lane and then to the left lane. So this is the right moment to overtake when nobody else can merge. I know this is supposed to be a no merging part, but I think that refers more to cars, normal cars trying to merge. You saw that? I was pointing to the taxi. That was a potential danger in my future, because taxis for sure are gonna wanna merge to the bus lane. They're entitled as much as a bus, as much as a motorcycle, to use this lane. So, hopefully we will learn something. Here we go again, approaching the harbor bridge. I love this view. This is such a nice view. You know that? Half cloudy, half open skies. What a nice day. Maybe I overlove Sydney, but we are so lucky of living here in Sydney. It's such a beautiful spot in the world. So I got kind of stuck here behind a taxi and behind a bus. So what can I do? Just relax, I'm leaning to the left, so kind of the taxi in front of me sees me, and that's it. So he knows I'm here. We're all stuck in this stage, so let's just keep going. Let's not make a big fuss about it. We are approaching to the end of the harbor bridge, and we're gonna go left in Team Cahill. So Team is approaching, a nice left and then a nice right into the tunnel. So now you can see that car on the left of me. That's a potential danger because once we start turning into team 1, I don't know if that car is gonna wanna merge to the right. So here we go, another car. We're approaching team number 1. I'm a little bit stuck behind this taxi, but that taxi most likely is gonna go straight. So now I can't go fast here because I have that cars in front of me. You see that car? Ghosting, people, this is a very good example of how important it is to be ghosting. Like, I could have been in a very sketchy position if I was next to that car in a blind spot. So that's a good example of ghosting. Here we go, look at that. A cruise ship, the opera house, and the harbor bridge. In a very open day, open sky day, 50% chance of rain. Now we're approaching team number 2. We're gonna get into the tunnel now. Like, you see how even though that car on the left is very unlikely to merge to the right, I still, better safe than sorry. So I just ghost that car, and then it was a safe interaction in between us. You see how I put my left blinker beforehand? It's because this part is a little bit sketchy too, because you don't know what car from the left lane is gonna wanna merge and what car on the right lane where I am is gonna wanna merge. So just so the people behind me knows my intention much beforehand, I just click early, Now we're approaching chicane. I remember I got a red light here, so there's really not much more to tell because I was just stuck behind that car. If there will be something to say, it's like you can see how I'm leaning to the right of the lane. It's because number 1, to be safe, and number 2, to allow the cars on the left to go left. Here we go, we do this turn. We're almost at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoy this and hopefully learn a little bit about riding safely. It will be so funny if I get involved into a big crash one day with all this ghosting and things that I probably believe I know. I try to be as safe as possible every single second that I'm on the bike. So look at that train. What a nice view. So as I was saying, I hope I really never have a major incident in the motorcycle. But you never know, so let's just be as safe as possible, people. Alright, I don't have much more to say. This is pretty much the end of the video. This turn also slow but safe. So this is all for today. Have a great day, people.